Okay. Go ahead now.
Yeah, thank you. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome all of you to this meeting, and I want to thank you for accepting our invitation. Today is the World Obesity Day, the 4th of March, 2022. The day is that everybody needs to act. My name is Dr. Judith Waswa from the Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, a faculty in the department, Technical University of Kenya. So that is the theme of today's event. Everybody needs to act. So once more, I want to welcome all of you in this conference, the Obesity Day, World Obesity Day, the 4th of March, 2022. We as a Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, we decided to join the rest of the world in marking this day. And this is because we are concerned and keen about obesity, because the causes of obesity are squarely nutrition and lifestyle. We are also concerned because the health risks that come with obesity are enormous. Obesity is a risk factor to non-communicable diseases, and non-communicable diseases are the leading causes of poor quality of life and premature death. So that becomes of concern to us. We are therefore joining the rest of the world to celebrate this day. So, as we join the world to celebrate this day, what is obesity? Most of you have come across this term, but we need to know about obesity every day of our lives, day in, day out, for us to be able to prevent obesity. So according to WHO, obesity is abnormal or excess accumulation of fat, and it presents a risk to health. As I've already mentioned, obesity is a risk factor to NCDs, and therefore a leading cause of poor quality life and premature death. So we find that over 50% of people in the world are overweight or obese, and about 20% of the overweight and obese are obese. Now, the prevalence of obesity has grown over time, and it has been worsened by COVID-19. So you can imagine with COVID with us, we still expect that the prevalence of obesity will continue to grow, and it is with us. The World Obesity Atlas has projected that by 2030, about 1 billion adults will have obesity. That's a very, very high number. So what should we do? Everyone needs to act. So as a Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, we have decided to act. And today we have presented to you this session that we are going to talk about obesity. So today, our today's speaker will be Dr. Alice Ojwang. Dr. Ojwang is a lecturer at the Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics, Technical University of Kenya. She's also a nutrition consultant, and she is an obesity expert. Dr. Ojwang is a member of the advisory group of cost of obesity, which is a group under the World Obesity Federation. So she is a member. She's the only African member. So can you join me in congratulating Dr. Ojwang, and as we usher Dr. Ojwang to speak to us. She's the speaker of the hour. Welcome, Dr. Ojwang. Now, before Dr. Ojwang comes in, I want to say that we have the blessings of Professor Orina. Professor Orina is the Director, School of Health and Biomedical Sciences. He's not here with us, but he's fully in support of the initiatives. So he's part of the team. Thank you very much for listening. Dr. Ojwang, over to you.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Kindly mute yourselves.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Dr. Waswa, it would be nice to have somebody's face support me. I thought it was going to be you. And I'm just going to play I'm going to start by playing a short video about today, and just note what it is that we are talking about, why this session is very important. Thank you. So good afternoon once more. Like Dr. Waswa has introduced me, I sit in the Obesity Federation as an African representative for obesity as an economic problem. So obesity is a big problem in the world today, and it is not a European problem. For a long time, it was what was classified, obesity was a developing world problem, but that's not the case right now. It's an African problem, and if you look around you, wherever you go, there's definitely work that needs to be done. So the theme for this year is everybody needs to act. Everybody must take action. What do we mean by that? Everybody needs to take action because obesity is a global problem. How do we manage obesity? How can you take action? I know we have students in the room, we have different people in the room. How can we take action as an individual? Taking action will depend on you. People live in different families. You live in a family. Is there an obese person in the family? Is there an obese child in the family? If you're a student in your class, is there an obese person in the class, or obese student or obese colleague? If you're a professional working as lecturers and stuff, do we have obese people around us? Most of the time, people just talk carelessly about, oh, so-and-so is obese, or you've added so much fat. But you should know that obesity has also got its stigma, plus obesity has also got its problems in relation to life and how people live their life. So today, I'm just going to make it a very simple presentation, okay? And a very simple presentation on how you can manage obesity. So you'll just excuse me a little bit. It seems to have a problem. I have the wrong slides loaded. So as I find my slides, I'm just going to play this video once more for the people who are coming in just now. Okay, thank you for your patience. You can see my slides?
Yes,
Yes.
we can.
Okay, thank you. So it's going to be a simple presentation. This meeting is supposed to take 1 hour. So I'm going to talk for 20 minutes and then we're going to have time for questions. And it's about taking action. So what action are you going to take as a student, as a health professional, as young nutrition professionals who I'm sure are in the team? We all need to take action. So what action are you going to take? It can be a personal action. It can be a group action. And how are you going to do this? You have to identify where the problem is. Is obesity in the family? So if you're a young nutrition professional and you're in a family and there are obese people, what are you going to do? First, you have to identify, is there obesity problem? You have to do your own evaluation. It can be just observation. It can be just really taking notes and paying attention. Like at the department, we are taking action today to educate you a little bit about obesity. But in the near future, we have big plans to be able to actually work with people in the university to help them to lose weight and to help them to lose that weight and maintain it. So how are we taking action today? We are giving you this talk and we are going to empower you so that you can take action as an individual or action in the community. We know that you cannot do it alone. You can't do it alone. Obesity requires so many professionals. Sometimes people are stigmatized because of their weight, so they need to they need a psychologist. You may need a nutritionist to help you plan your diet. Sometimes you may need a caterer. You may need a medical doctor to help you if you're diabetes. You may need a physiotherapist to help you if you're experiencing all the conditions associated with obesity. Today, we are not going to talk about, the dangers of obesity, all those things. You know that behind obesity epidemic is diabetes epidemic, is hypertension epidemic, is musculoskeletal problems, backache, knee pains, ankle pain. All these problems are related with obesity. And behind obesity epidemic is also cancer epidemic. So obesity, it's a big problem. It compounds so many other conditions. So we are happy that you can join us today. So we can quickly look at it. How can we do it? And remember, you can't do anything alone. You always need support. And obesity is no longer a problem of the past. It's no longer a problem of the Europeans. It's no longer a problem of Americans. It is a global problem. It's an African problem. So let's go straight to the topic. How can you lose weight? Or how can you help somebody else to lose weight? You have to identify the problems. Why am I overweight? Why am I overweight? That is the first problem that you have to identify. So it could be to do with your diet. Do you take so much sugar? You find that if you take a soda every single day in your life, every day at the end of the week, this is how much sugar you're going to be taking. This is a lot of sugar. You do not want to take this much sugar. So if you take a soda every day, and of course, students are notorious for this. Students, and even not just students, even health professionals. We are notorious for this. You can't take soda. And not only soda, it can be just juices because you're taking a lot of fructose. It can be you're taking a lot of sugar in your tea, and eventually this adds up to a lot of sugar in the diet. Then if you take fried foods, if you're taking like chips every single day, you're going to add weight. This is a lot of fat. So if you live in a family, what is your diet? Is it high in sugar or is it high in fat? You can imagine this is just 1 week of soda every day and 1 week of chips or fried food every day. So what if you're taking, what about a month from now or 2 months from now? So look at your diet in the family. Are you eating healthy? It's not only sugar. Sometimes you also eat too much carbohydrates in our diet, a lot of bread, a lot of rice. And sometimes you can also just eat the healthy things like the sweet potatoes, the nduma, but you're taking a lot of everything. So which part of the diet is a challenge? Is it that you eat too much sugar, too much fat, too much food, too much of everything? One thing that I've also found is that as a major cause of obesity is people stay long hours without food and then you go home and eat one meal. When you eat one meal a day, most of the time you're telling your body to conserve energy. So your body becomes very efficient at conserving energy, and people can gain weight, not because they're eating too much, but they're not eating enough. So which part of the diet is the problem? Please identify. Then let's go to lifestyle. Most of us are sedentary. And when COVID came, we were locked up and we were at home for maybe a year. So we didn't exercise, we didn't move around. And you can see the consequences. That has really increased obesity. The prevalence of obesity just shot up because of COVID. So lifestyle, sleeping habits. If you don't sleep well, if you don't have enough sleep, you have a low metabolic rate, and this increases your risk of becoming obese and even unhealthy. How about water? Drinking water or not drinking water, dehydration has been associated with obesity. Why? When you're thirsty, you always think that you are hungry. And so the first thing you do is to eat something. But if studies have shown that if you actually eat, if you drink water, if you're well hydrated, then you will be fine. You will be able to tell between hunger and thirst. But if you don't drink water, you're likely to be obese. So there are so many lifestyle factors. So if you don't exercise, that's a problem. If you don't sleep well, that's a problem. If you don't drink water, that's a problem. And of course, also your associations. What is your social environment like? You can see from maybe men on the weekend, their social life is they go out and have nyama choma and drink a lot of beer. Not all of them, but a good majority. And so if your social environment is always about eating and drinking, then your risk factors of being overweight or obese is very, very high. So also, is it psychological problem? Because I found that some people, when they're going through stress, they tend to eat a lot. And that increases their weight. You eat a lot because you're stressing about things. So it can be young people, it can even be older people. So is it psychological problem that's making your weight high, all right? Or are you on treatment? And some people, when they're on treatment, certain treatments like steroids, it gives you an appetite and your weight is high. Or if you have a medical condition like hypothyroidism, then you tend to add weight. However, all these things can be managed. So the minute you identify where the problem is, it is very easy to lose weight. So we start by identifying the problem. And once we've identified the problem, is it diet? Is it lifestyle? Is it psychological? Is it treatment? then all you have to do is make the changes that are necessary. So weight loss is not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. All you have to do is identify the reasons why you're overweight, and it can be managed. That's all. Believe me, I've worked in obesity for 20 years, and this is what works. People lose weight like a joke. It's very easy. So I want to remind you of some sayings that are very common, that are used around the world. To lengthen thy lives, lessen thy meals. This is a saying that is as old as in the 16th century by one of the American presidents. So it means that if you're going to live long, you need to eat less meals. When you eat small portions of food, you will live longer, and you're not going to live long enough to get problems with your weight, and or to manage diabetes and things like that. So small portions pay. The other quote is, genes load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. So most people, when you are trying to tell them, oh, you're overweight, you're like, it runs in the family. But we also know families tend to have the same kind of eating habits. So when you have the same kind of eating habits, it means you can be, if you have bad eating habits, like you eat a lot of meat, you eat a lot of food, the whole family will be overweight. So yes, it's not genes, it will be habits. But there are people who actually have genes. The families tend to be overweight no matter what we do. What that literally just means is that you need to work harder not to gain weight and get all these conditions associated with weight. So genes are the ones that load the gun. Your genes that God gave you load the gun. You're short, you're tall, you're fat. Those are genes. But now your lifestyle is the one that pulls the trigger. So your lifestyle, how do you sleep? How do you eat? Do you exercise? Okay, what are your hydration status? Do you get sunshine? Do you get fresh air? So all those things affect you. So remember, it is your lifestyle. So what are you doing with your diet, with your lifestyle that's affecting your weight and causing you being overweight or being obese? What are you doing with your life? Because if you don't lose weight, if you're overweight as a child and your weight is your diet is not managed, you are going to grow up to be an obese adult, and losing that weight becomes difficult. Children are actually more affected with obesity, if you don't know, because they are going to be teased when they're in school. Other children don't want them to join, to be in their group. Like if you have a running group, they don't want you because you will slow them down because you're obese. And this impacts the child for the rest of their life. So parents, friends, family, if you have an obese child, you need to work hard to help them to lose weight, because it's a lifestyle. 90% of obesity is related to lifestyle. And the other of my favorite saying is, if you can't make time for exercise, be ready to make time for illness. So this is also as old as the 15th century. So if you can't make time for exercise, be ready to make time for illness. What does this mean? You need to just exercise and exercise and exercise and exercise. And exercise doesn't mean you have to enroll in a gym and spend money. You need to get comfortable shoes, and so you can walk. Usually they say if you walk between 30 minutes, 45 minutes to 1 hour, 5 days a week, that's enough to help you lose weight if you want to lose weight, of course, by changing also your other diet, but it's also enough to keep you fit and to keep you completely out of trouble. So it's not difficult to lose weight. It is just, what is it that you're doing? So what are we asking you to do this World Obesity? So our mission as the Technical University, the Human Nutrition Department, we want, everyone needs to act. And how we are going to support you, because we have nutrition professionals, we have nutrition lecturers, we are training nutrition students, and we want to work with them to help you to lose weight. And we want to start with our community at the university. Please note that obesity is a global problem. It is not a European or American problem. It's a global problem, and it's almost like every sixth person around you is overweight or obese. So fight obesity and related stigma. Think about it. Don't be careless when you talk about overweight and obesity. Don't say, oh, so-and-so is obese. Oh, so-and-so has added weight. Studies are showing that people who are overweight are being victimized by those statements that we make. So you want to be careful. Yes, they're overweight, but so what? They're going to do something about it. So if there are children who are being bullied because of their overweight, fight that stigma. If there are people who, to do with employment, you're not getting a position because you're overweight, we fight that stigma. And most importantly, we need to get support to manage obesity and related health problems. Obesity, if not managed, you start by getting musculoskeletal problems, like you start by getting backache, then you'll get knee pains, then it only gets worse. It's called a debilitating condition. It can make you just be on the chair just because you're overweight, but obesity is one of the things that can be managed. So if somebody is hypertensive and they're overweight, if they lose weight, they're going to manage their blood pressure. They'll be better. If they're diabetes and they're overweight, if they lose weight, they can even reverse their diabetes. If a young person is trying to get pregnant and they cannot conceive because of obesity, if they lose weight, they are going to conceive. So there's a solution to obesity. So for today, this is the short message that we have for you. And I'm just going to stop here and I'll take questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Juan. I think we should, before she takes questions, we should put on our microphones and clap for her and appreciate her. Just put on your microphone and appreciate Dr. Juan. Okay, let's go. Thank you. So
Thank you.
Let's take questions. Let's take questions. Are we able to see the hand? Can you be able to carry your hand so that we can see? Or just put on your microphone and speak. I hope I can be heard.
I can hear you very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You can also type on the chat any comment, any question. Dr. Juan was brief and to the point, which was very good.
Joyce, do you have a question?
I think she's coming in.
Okay, if they don't have
So, Joan, I have a question.
Is someone with a question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Yes. My name is Susan. I'm also a lecturer at the Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics here at Technical University. Thank you, Dr. Juang, for your very good presentation. You were brief and to the point, and we were able to understand clearly. I just have a question or just a comment. You've talked about ways that we can manage at individual level. Could you please maybe explain more on how we can manage obesity maybe at other levels? For example, what can the government do or manufacturers do to ensure that we don't have very sugary products in our market, in our supermarket, very fatty products that are not healthy to the population? Yeah, so maybe you can briefly talk about that, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Susan. That's a very good question. What can the government do and what can the manufacturers do? Very good question. So the government is big. So government needs to set up policies in place that support prevention of obesity and related risk factors. For example, government can have policies that in the workforce, in the worksite wellness, people need to be supported for weight loss. They need to have fitness activities. They need to have wellness programs. They need to have a nutritionist employed in the workplace so that they can support obesity in these countries. There's a good example of a country called Malta. Malta is a country where the government has implemented obesity prevention programs. Every school, every organization, they have health professionals that ensure that people eat healthy and people exercise. So at school, there are policies where you cannot put machines and vending machines so that the students can get soda and sugar. So when the government is the king. If the government makes very good policies and puts them in place, even the manufacturers will follow suit. In South Africa and many other countries now, they have the sugar tax. So they have the sugar tax. That means that if a product has got so much sugar, it is taxed. That means that product becomes very expensive in the market and not everybody can buy it. And those are some of the policies that we'd like to have in the country so that things like soda, sorry to say, becomes heavily taxed, and that means they become expensive, and anybody walking in the street cannot just buy it. And that's the only way it's going to help, because in Kenya, we've done a survey in the slums. We went to, in September last year, we were doing a food safety survey, and we went to Pangani and we went to those villages. And when you ask what people take for snacks, they take sodas for snacks. Every family takes sodas. When they eat a meal, it is a big treat to have a soda. So you find that there are bananas and fruits going bad, but the soda shop is thriving. So government is king, and what government can do is to have policies. And so when they have policies in place, the manufacturers, the schools, the colleges, and the universities will just have to implement the policy. And of course, the manufacturers right now, because if you make food that is sweet and salty, people like salty, people like sweet, they want to sell. So the manufacturers will continue to sell their products. But if the government puts a policy in place that ensures this manufacturer is not going to make the product they want, but they're going to only provide a product that's healthy, that's the only way a manufacturer can be helped. However, in many countries around the world, and I had the pleasure of attending a meeting in the Netherlands where the Unilever, you know that Unilever, their headquarters is in Netherlands. Unilever, they've taken initiative to actually reduce sugar in the products that they make, which is a good initiative, which is even now sponsored by the government, so that whatever they're making is less in sugar. They're also reducing salt in a lot of their products and many other things. So thank you, that was a good question. And it's related actually to the theme, Susan, because the theme is everybody needs to act. So the government needs to act, the manufacturers need to act, the institutions, we are in an institution, technical university needs to act. From the management level, we are in the department also needs to act. And I'm proud to be a member of the Human Nutrition Department because this is the action we are taking today. Thank you very much. I hope I've been able to answer you at least a little bit.
Thank you, Dr. Ojwang. Maybe I can add something to that.
Yes, please.
Now, I sit on several committees of government in the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Agriculture, even Kenya Bureau of Standards, where such initiatives are taking place. We have policies in place. The Ministry of Health has put in place policies for healthy eating and have even come out with the manuals for healthy eating and the like. And then we also have a policy on school food and how school food, I mean nutritious school food should be implemented, and marketing of food in school. That is the Ministry of Health. Then in the Ministry of the Ministry of Health, the Healthy Diets Technical Working Group has developed a front of pack labeling standard that we are working on at the Kenya Bureau of Standards in the Food Labeling Committee, so that manufacturers can be able to declare the amount of sugar, the amount of fat, or any other salt, any substance that can have health hazards to a human being. They have to declare the amount, and also we are proposing that they put a sticker. If it is too much, they put red. So if you see red on a product like cooking oil, you know that one has a lot of saturated fat, so do not buy that. If you find red on a soda and then the amount of sugar is too high, and if you are vulnerable to obesity or diabetes, you avoid that. So we have government initiatives. What I've seen that is lagging behind is advocacy and consumer awareness. So which we are doing now, and which even academic institutions can do, which people can do at individual level. So maybe if all of us decided to act, then we could help these policies. We could help the government as they come up with policies, then we can be able to do nutrition education and advocacy at our levels. But government has very good initiatives. And you see, the government of Kenya actually has so many policies that have never been implemented. If they could be able to implement the policies fully, then we would be the best in East Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are good initiatives. Those are very good initiatives. It will really help in a big way. Yeah.
There's a question on the chat that what are the techniques that we can to identify obesity maybe we can use to identify obesity in early stages, so and control the measures we should take to prevent it from developing. Okay, I think the point is, so Dr. Juan?
I thought you were going to answer that one. Yeah, so there's really they're not unique techniques to identify obesity. In fact, it's very easy. Usually when a child is born, you have a health card, and every time you go to the clinic to get your vaccine, the child is measured, and the nurse, the health professional is going to mark the weight of the child. And so you have 3 lines. So you have the line where like it's like a tree, like there are 3 lines like this, if I can use my fingers. And so you have the lines where, oh, what happened? You have the lines where if the child falls in between this line, they are normal. If they go below this line, it means they're underweight. And if they go above this line, it means they're now crossing into the overweight zone. So mothers are always told early enough that their children are overweight. And of course, when they then they have to start looking at what it is that they are doing. And you just have to identify. Because normally also when the children, you start giving them complementary feeds, that's the time that child can either become underweight or the child can start to pick up weight. And there are definitely special cases where the children just become overweight just by using breast milk. But it's not unique. It is done at birth. And every time, within 6 months, you can know if your child is starting to be overweight or not. Yes, I hope that answers your question, Teddy Otieno.
Thank you. I think you've been clear. Now, there's one initiative I forgot to mention, a government initiative. Maybe I should say that because it's very important. The Ministry of Education has ensured that nutrition education is incorporated in all subjects of the CBC curriculum, including mathematics, Kiswahili, Germany, all the subjects that are being offered. Those parents who have CBC children, you will realize that even in mathematics, they use food. You'll see how many oranges and how many bananas. When you go to Kiswahili, they also have something on nutrition, something that will make a child take home about nutrition. And now that children are very good change agents, that's why they had to incorporate in the curriculum at very early stages, so they could also help the parents change their health, their eating habits. Thank you. Simba, you had something?
Very good, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much for that response. I just want to raise an issue. Dr. Juang, you can help in addressing this.
Yes.
You know, most of this mother-child card that normally they go to with the clinic, you'll realize it's only produced when people are going to the clinic. Whatever is always written in it, it is upon the mother and the doctor, and then the book is kept again. But traditionally, if you look at the kind of lifestyle, most of our communities, when a child is huge, let me use that term, when a child has more weight, it is considered as a sign of good health as compared to a child who looks thin. And in the context of obesity and overweight, how then do we approach these communities to actually let them know that actually this is more of a problem and not a sign of good health?
Well, thank you very much. That's a very good question and a very good observation. I think in Kenya, we are one of those countries that actively use those health cards, the health card that the child is given. And then we also have pediatric demonstration unit in the hospitals. I don't know how active they are, but when I worked in the hospitals, they were very active. And so because a mother must come to bring the child for vaccines and to bring those months of follow-up that they need up to 18 months, they're actually told. But so Kenya scores high on that. However, we still need to do community awareness. We need to have, these are areas for research, Dr. Simba. These are areas for master's research. These are areas for PhD research. How can you educate the community? Because you can't start also using a child. It is unethical to use a child to give example of this child is overweight and this child is a small weight. So when the child looks like this, we should not say. It's also unethical, but those are good areas of research. But Kenya scores high in that area, in that for a long time, people are told at the clinic, but obviously that's not enough. The people who don't have the children, the aunties, the grandmother, they want to see a fat child. So it's challenge to you has born. That's a PhD area, PhD research project. But if you have comments, you can add. We have very many professionals here. Dr. Susan Wairegi.
Can I add something?
Yes, Dr. Waswa, yes.
Now, as you say, actually Kenya scores very high on the use of growth monitoring cards.
Yes.
Mothers go to hospital. In fact, nowadays they are given some book. It's not like the card we used to have long time ago, and they are able to monitor. In most cases, I've seen mothers go back home with those books. So I don't know whether we have, Simba has said we have situations where the books are kept. I don't know whether it's by the health professional, but the books are there, and the mothers are advised in the health facilities. Where the rain starts beating us is after 9 months. most of our mothers do not take children to clinic after the 9-month vaccine. So they say taking weight is not important. For as long as the vaccines are over, they will not take the children. So at that point, there is no monitoring, and they can go giving whatever food to the child. You'll see that now the child starts becoming fat, and now society starts praising that this mother knows how to take care of the child. So actually, after 9 months, we need to do something on community awareness, nutrition education at that level. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Yeah. Hesbon, you had wanted to add something?
No, not really, because actually for me, that is always a big problem. Especially like the way Dr. House has just put it. After 9 months, we tend to go back to normal. The child is treated just like any other person in the family. But for those at least who've gone through nutrition courses, we now know that overweight or obesity at an early age has a long-term effect even to the overall health of the child. So it's just how then do we ensure that mothers can actually follow this? Because most of these mothers, like I've said, once people have left the clinic, yes, there are always advices that are given, but that follow-up, either from the I don't know how that the link between now follow-up from the hospital now to the community to see whether advice given was actually followed. Because we've had most situations where those books are very precious to the mothers. They will keep them somewhere very safe and wait for the next time when the clinic has, the clinic time has arrived. So just that link sometimes is always a problem. That's something that I've noticed. And Dr. Juang, the way you said it, then there are a lot of studies that can come out of there. We have so many students here who can do them maybe as basic undergraduate and then follow it as a master's or a PhD, something like that. So thank you. I think it's quite relevant.
Yeah, well done. Thank you very much.
Now there are some questions on the chat. Atman is asking whether obesity affects a person's sex life. Maybe some professionals can also help answer such questions. But generally, obesity, as we have said, they affect the quality of life of a person. The quality of life includes social life, the health, the health of a person. So basically, it will affect the quality of life in totality.
Yes. And may I add on to that? So when it comes to sex life, yes, it impacts sex life. I remember when I started training on obesity and I actually went to learn about sex and obesity. I did a bit of sexology so that I can help obese people with that. And it impacts you very much first by oxygen levels. You see, when you are overweight and you sleep, when you lie flat, all your fat moves up. In fact, I have a fat model in this office. If Maureen is listening, Maureen, come and give me the fat model so that I can share with people. So the fat literally moves and reduces your lung capacity. So you become breathless. So you can no longer have sex in the most common positions that people do. So yes, it does affect it in that way that you also cannot go on for, it reduces the time that you can have sex. And then you're always very tired and fatigued. And then of course for men also, they tend to have more of the apple, where's the big fat? Oh, it's right here, sorry. Thank you. So this is fat, this is about 2.2 kilos of fat. So you can imagine if it's lying in your stomach and then it pushes your lungs, reduces your lung oxygen capacity, like you said. And then also for men, because they tend to be more apple, so they have a bigger stomach, that's just lying on that stomach alone hinders you from having enough oxygen. And so it reduces, you cannot actually have sex in the normal position. So they have to learn how else they can have sex. And then of course, also it's been shown that when the man becomes extremely overweight until the thighs grow and the stomach grows, they can actually, the size of their organ can be reduced. It's literally swallowed up by the fat. And so they have to lose weight. And the woman also becomes very deep. So it is very hard. So of course, there's a whole research on obesity and sex. And Mwanabule, since you're a student, you can go look up some literature on, published literature on how obesity impacts sex life and sex health. Thank you. Somebody's asked here, how can we manage, Brighton, how can we help manage obesity in pregnant women to help them deliver healthy babies, since obesity can pose health risks to the maternal health and that of the baby? Actually, there are guidelines. Usually it's better to start early. So have planned pregnancies, and so you can plan, because there are standards or guidelines that tell you how much, depending on what your current BMI is, there are guidelines that tell you how much weight you can lose. So if somebody is expectant and their BMI is normal, they can gain up to 23 kilos. If your BMI, if you're overweight, you can gain up to 11 kilos. And if you are obese, class 1 and pregnant, you should not gain more than 7 kilos. So those are standards that have been studies have shown that when people are overweight already and they get pregnant, they're more likely to gain weight. So they can be you have to really monitor their diets, they have to exercise. And remember, most people also this is to do with education, and because your students think about a research topic in this area. Most of the time, people think that when you're pregnant, you need to eat a lot more. You only need maybe 300 calories extra, which you only need in your last trimester. So you don't have to eat too much. And then what happens is, if you don't manage the cravings, that means you don't eat your meals regularly, the cravings can get out of hand. And so you find a pregnant person taking lots of soda because they crave for soda, or taking a lot of chips because they crave for chips. And that just increases your weight dramatically. So everybody must eat healthy. Even the obese, overweight person needs to eat healthy and maintain a good diet plan, or a good meal plan, for them to be able to actually gain only the weight they need to gain to be able to support the baby. And another question in relation to that, and please, all the doctors in the house, please feel free to help me. Another question in, can obesity pregnant mothers use ketogenic diet during pregnancy? We don't recommend diets. You're nutrition professionals. You don't recommend diets. You don't recommend shortcuts. Everybody needs to have a balanced diet. And this is what I always say. Don't tell people not to eat carbohydrates and go into ketogenic diets. There's a very good reason why our God created the earth and created carbohydrates and protein and the variety of foods. So no, I do not recommend diet at all, and I will not put a pregnant person on a ketogenic diet. Ketogenic diet can only be used in cases where the person is obese, they have to have an emergency surgery, and they are extremely hypertensive or extremely have high blood pressure. And so we will put them on a ketogenic diet, but they will be in hospital, all right? And yeah, in short, these diets work, but they only work for certain conditions and not a normal person who lives. And remember, anytime you put somebody on a very strict diet, it's not sustainable, it's not realistic, and they're going to go right back to their old habits. So what's important is always to have a total lifestyle change. Thank you.
I think to avoid such situations, as you said earlier, people preparing to get pregnant should, those planning to get pregnant should prepare early in advance. So you are not getting into pregnancy when you are obese, because the complications there will be very many and can cause you so many problems. So as nutrition professionals, the students, as you go there out there to the community, spread this gospel. Let people, prevention is better than cure. Let people prepare, have the normal weight before getting into pregnancy. Not underweight, not overweight, not obese. You will be able to solve many more health problems than when you get into pregnancy with that, because you'll have problems yourself, your unborn child will also have problems. So it's good to get into pregnancy when you have the right BMI.
Yeah, planned pregnancy. Thank you. Yes. We have another 3 minutes. Any last burning questions or comments? Please feel free to write in the chat. And as you think about the question, let me ask you a question. What are you going to do differently today? When we say that everybody needs to act, what are you going to do as an individual? Please just type it on the chat so that I have evidence that we actually had this conversation. What are you going to do about this theme? Everybody needs to act. Please type it on the chat. Nobody's talking here, Dr. Waswa.
Sorry? Yeah, we need take-home tax. What are people going to do? People have to commit to do something. Are you going to talk to a family member about healthy eating to prevent obesity? Are you going to talk to your friend? Are you going to talk to somebody in the community, in the church, about how to prevent obesity? Even just doing a WhatsApp message on the groups you have about healthy eating and prevention of obesity.
Yeah. So if you go to the website, I've put the website there, worldobesity.org. There's so much information. So if you are a student and you want to learn more about obesity, there are lots of resources on that website and in relation to here, including pictures and menus and plans and things like that. Of course, as nutritionists, you might need to change it you might need to Kenyanize it. But for a start, that's it. At least somebody says, husband says we're going to have a family level discussion. Yeah. So once you identify, maybe Dr. Waswa, I can say my last words, and then I can hand over to you. So once you identify what the problems are, remember, what is your diet like? What is your lifestyle? All right. So I'm going to give you abbreviation. It's called FREES. FREES. So the first abbreviation is F. You need to be free of toxins. Identify your toxic habits and the toxic things that you consume. You take a lot of sugar, a lot of salt, a lot of fat in your diet. You snack all the time. You don't have a set eating pattern. What are your bad habits that can cause you to gain weight? So be free of toxins. That's what the F means. Number 2, abbreviation 2 is R, meaning rehydration. Water has been associated, dehydration has really been associated with obesity. It's unbelievable. So please drink water. Drink water, hydrate. 3, eat healthy. What does it mean to eat healthy? Eat natural as much as possible, include raw foods, obey nature. You need to eat more food in the morning and you need to eat less food in the evening. You're going to work in the morning, you need more food. You're going to sleep in the evening, you need food. The second E is exercise. Remember, if you can't make time for exercise, be ready to make time for it. And exercise does not have to have you spending money, buying exotic, expensive wear, and going to the gym. No, find a school field, find a place that you can walk and just walk. And that's enough. That's enough. If you can walk 45 minutes to 60 minutes every day or 5 days a week, that's enough to help you lose weight. And the last E is have enough rest. Having poor sleep has also been associated with obesity. So eat ecto, have enough rest. And last but not least, it is the S. S means stress. Manage stress. So the abbreviation is F. Free of toxins. Identify your toxic habits and try to change them to better habits. R, rehydration. Drink water. Don't drink juices and sodas. Drink water. The first E is eat healthy, eat natural food as much as possible, stay away from processed foods, and always eat more food in the morning and less food in the evening. Just obey nature. As you're going to sleep, you need less. You wake up, you need more. The second E is exercise, exercise, exercise. Move, make use of your major muscles. The third E is have enough rest. Make sure you sleep. You're supposed to sleep 7 to 8 hours. Don't take your sleep for granted. It's very important. And the last is S. So S is stress. Always make sure you manage stress, because when you're stressed, you produce stress hormones like cortisol, insulin, and these things increase your ability to deposit fat or to store fat. So thank you very much. And that's my message for you today. So please take action. Take action. Let's fight obesity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Juang. Once more, can we put our microphones on for the final clap? Monica. Good. So you've heard what Dr. Juang has told you. We don't want to repeat. She has summarized. So at this juncture, I would like to invite Mr. Hesbon Simba. Mr. Hesbon Simba is a faculty in the Department of Human Nutrition and Dietetics. So she could give a vote of thanks to our speaker and to our participants. Thank you very much. Simba, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Waswa, and thank you everybody who has managed to participate today. World Obesity Day 2022, that is 4th of March. So it is a day that we should always mark on our calendar. I hope next time next year we should be, God willing, if everybody's there, again, we can review what was discussed, the progress that we are going to make during the year. So let me take this opportunity to really appreciate the organizations, the organizer of the event, and also appreciate Dr. Waswa on behalf of our department, that is nutrition department, for organizing this session. I also want to take opportunity to appreciate Dr. Juang for the well outlined presentation, and also the co-hosts. I can see Dr. Waswa was part of the co-hosting, I was part of it, and Stephen Dungu was part of the co-host, the staff who had managed to join, the students who have also managed to join and listen in and contribute by having, bringing in questions, and then all other persons, probably the people who have also been invited here, they are not part of the list that I've mentioned. Thank you very much. It is well outlined that everybody really needs to act. By 2030, we are approaching 20 billion mark. That is something to be scared about. Then how do we work towards reducing that? And what have come out with is that we really have to really understand our problems, remember our diets, our lifestyle, our psychology, and the treatment aspect of it, and having that with the mission of having everybody acting, knowing that obesity is a global issue, and knowing that stigma, fighting stigma, obesity stigma related issues are part of our missions that we really need to act. So on behalf of everyone, I'm really happy, and I still propose that for those who might want to know more about this topic or have a lot of interest, we still have Dr. Juang in the department. We also still have Dr. Waswa in the department, we can follow up and see how we can be helped in one form or another. So generally, that is what I wanted to say. That thank you very much for making this a wonderful presentation.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Simba. I think that was the last remark. We can declare the meeting.
Doctor.
Yes, yes.
Before you declare it closed, I was wondering if we could actually just put on our cameras and just take a picture.
Okay.
A quick picture.
Those who are able to, some students may be listening from the blanket.
Thank you, Hesbon. Please put on your cameras. Thank you, as many as you can. Memories are made of this. Thank you, Stephen. And Hesbon, Stephen, and Mudomi were behind the camera, behind technology, trying to help with the technology, admit people, silence people. And so that was nice. Okay. Can we have more people try? All right. And then, all right, fine. I'll take a picture. I'll share it. Okay, I see more people coming in. So, okay, good.
There are those who need makeup.
Okay, we'll give you another minute or so. Yeah. They're coming in one by one as I check. Okay. Wait, let me see how it looks. Gone are the days of, those pictures they used to take and then you only wait to see later that it's bad. Now we can just take. Okay, let me just take one more. Yes, oh, Gutu is there. Janet. Yeah, Susan. We're seeing more people coming. That's nice. Okay. Susan, lower yourself a little bit.
Out.
The video is on, Susan. We could see you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mercy, just come a little bit next to the camera. Like your face should be big like this at the camera. Yes, Gutu, you're good. Red.
Can you see me?
Yes, very well, very well. Okay, Susan, just lower your, yes, there you go. Don't move, right there. Okay, I'll take another one and smile, guys, smile. Okay, smile. Done. Thank you. I'll share it on the group and it'll come to everybody. Thank you very much. Dr. Also over to you.
So thank you very much for the attendance. I will not want to give a vote of thanks, but I just want to wish everyone well and goodbye.
Yeah, thank you for
have a nice evening.
You can stay a bit, Dr. Waswa, and the staff if you want to for now. So Stephen, thank you so much for your support for technology. You're always my go-to guy. Thank you very much. And Hesbon, thank you very much for helping in the technology. And all of you, thank you for being here. Naenda polepole. Even the staff went. Good, where are you? Which part of the world are you?
Goto is in Nairobi.
Oh.
I'm in Nairobi.
Yeah. I'm removing the students.
Yeah, you can remove them.
Esther, go away.
Moshud
Latia, go away. Moshud, please go away. Thank you for being here. I hope you're taking home something. You're the champions that we want to have. Mashood, you don't want to go? Yeah. Oh, thank you guys for the support. Maybe next week we'll have some press. We'll have some TV press. Because this week, apparently, on the weekend is the World Women's Day. Yes, Janet. Now I can take. Okay,
Janet, you are looking good. And did you take photograph?
now I can take another one.
Eh?
Thank you.
You are not on camera.
Where is Janet? I can't see Janet. Where is she?
She's there.
Janet is there.
She's down there.
Her photo. Where is she? I'm not
She's
seeing
there.
her.
Catherine, give us some coffee.
Catherine, are you on the
I wish I.
Catherine, are you on your phone? If you're on your phone, then flip it through, then you'll see everybody.
Oh.
If you're
Okay,
on your phone, sometimes you can see
let
one
me
person.
flip
So
with.
if
Let me
you
flip
flip,
with.
you'll see everybody.
I can see Janet now. I've flipped. And then me, and then I can see Janet. Hi, Janet. I can see
Janet-
there.
This
Hey,
COVID
hi,
has
hi,
done
how are
us
you?
wonders.
Yeah, I think COVID was a good thing. Now we can just be having meetings online.
Yeah.
No, but no, it interferes with the social fabric.
Yeah, we still
You know,
need to, but people
we
have
still-
taken this COVID to another level. I have friends who we actually have tea, and this weekend we have an online party. We have a dance party. The rule is
online.
online party. They are in the US, South Africa, UK. We have an online party. You get your drink, you get your food, you dress up. So we sit down, we have dinner, and then you can have your wine and dance. And there's
Then you put on your music.
no, one person will play the music.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, so it's not stopping people. So it should not stop. Yeah, but when we
Nice
meet, we
to see
enjoy it.
people.
Yeah.
Dr. Jong, how do you take a camera?
Oh, you go to you control print screen. There's that PRTSC.
Where?
Control?
Yes.
Control print screen if you're using a laptop, and then you have to go and paste it. You paste it on Word or you paste it on your mail.
Control
okay.
prints, then screen.
It's something that it's written PRTSC. It's called print screen.
Where is it?
Oh,
Where is
yeah.
it found? On the computer?
Up there among the.
Your control key is usually like the first one on this side.
The print. Oh, yeah.
And then the print screen is towards the end where you have F1, 2, 3,
Insert.
4. Yes.
Yeah.
Mine has insert after that.
Yeah.
Can you be able to take the photograph if you are not the moderator?
Yes, you
host.
can. You can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just print screen. It just takes your screen. You can. Yeah. So do you have any questions?
Oh, let me see.
So does it stop somewhere automatically? Because it's not, I can't see it.
No, you have to go and paste it. So now go to your Word document or your email and then paste to paste the picture.
But where is it initially?
Where is this picture?
It is in the memory. It is in the memory.
In the memory.
The computer, yeah. You won't see it. You have to paste it to see it. Technology.
I have wizards. They retrieve it for me.
No, if you don't paste it now and then you go and do other things, you won't find it. So you have to paste it right now. Yeah. So just open your email and then paste it on your email or on a Word document. But email is better because now all I have to do is I download it on my phone and then I put it on I download it on my phone and then I send to you. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for the support. I was ambushed. We had a meeting on Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? Yes. So I was appointed this position. I was given in March, but we have not done much because of COVID. March 2021, I think. Was it last year? So I went through an interview and They were recommended by my professor from my old, where I did my PhD, that I'm interested in obesity. And then of course, I've been doing a lot of obesity work with Roche Pharmaceuticals. That's where I started to work. So then, so that's how come I was elected to sit in the board. And so it's work that is going to involve a lot of research, but we plan to have a research meeting with Dr. Waso and everybody so we can give you the full detail. But since you're here, you can have the pleasure of hearing a little. So it's going to a lot of research because Kenya doesn't have, like right now we're looking at the impact of obesity studies. Kenya doesn't have any. So it means that it's opportunity for research. And so they will just need to give me some documentation so that we can go to the government so that they can support. And then also we're required to find out about your policy that's in the country and see where they can support. So it's a position that will open up our department, God willing, for research and other more serious work to do with obesity. But we'll give you full details when we have a research meeting. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
So this one, the reason this was short is because on Tuesday when we had the meeting, and then they said you have to do something in your country. You've never done any, so you have to do press and what. So Tuesday and now, I was talking to Dr. Waso bombarding her with so much information, but I think we've tried because we have evidence. Actually, I should have stopped recording long time ago, but don't worry, I'll delete the part that we were all together. So yeah, so that's why it was short notice and it doesn't matter, but I'll try. A friend of mine works for Citizen. They're trying to get some TV airtime next week. This weekend is World Women's Health. And so then all the press is about women's health. So they've forgotten about obesity. So we'll get some airtime next week and also do something on television. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I just wanted to add.
I wanted to say something.
Yeah, I think there was some work I did, although it's about 14 years ago. My MSc was on obesity in preschool children, pre-adolescents. So, well, it needs to be updated, but I did some work on that.
But that's really good because we can update that work and also follow up those people, find out where are they at. So it's like a longitudinal study.
Yeah.
It can be improved. Yes, it can be improved. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So I'm having a meeting again with the director of, the big person about what my roles are, because during COVID everything went quiet. So now what my role is, and then after that now we'll organize a meeting and share more information. Yeah.
Okay.
Our main interest is research. We can get research funds.
And this is research. So
there
they don't.
So many people who can be able to be engaged.
Yeah. So I know they don't give you research funds, but they support you to get research funds. So when there's a call, we apply as a country. They give you supporting documents, because then that, and then also they give you they'll give you an appointment letter to go to the government so that the government can support the initiative from them, because whatever they're doing, they support policy and all those things. So since I'm the African representative and living in Kenya, how can the government help? So can the government put some funds for research on obesity? So things like that. So once I have a few more meetings to be very clear what my role is, but really my role, which is our role, is really to do a lot in obesity, and we want to start with our institution. So one of the things I'm just thinking now is to get everybody to enroll onto a weight loss program, which is a basic weight loss program where we monitor them, we meet them once every 2 weeks, we talk to them, we give them plans, and we do this as a department. And so everybody's involved. That's data, that's research. We can always start and look for the ethical clearance later. Yeah. So the initiative that will come from the Obesity World Day is, what action are we taking? So we want to offer staff and students a weight loss program, group weight loss program. Yeah.
So we also need to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with you. It starts with you.
It starts with us.
Charity begins
But-
at home.
But you see, actually the current body mass index classification is not very accurate, because you look at some people, the body mass index is reading about overweight. But when you look at this person, there is no fat, there is completely no fat in this person. So you see, you actually you cannot tell this person to lose weight. Otherwise, the person may lose bones. So the body mass index really has issues.
But
Yeah.
body mass index is used in many ways, and one of the ways it's used as it's actually used as a public health intervention. It's more like prevention,
It's
because
a
you'll find
screening
that
tool.
it's just a screening tool and just for prevention purposes, because you'll find that when somebody is BMI of 28 overweight and they don't look overweight, and you tell them that, you know what, you're overweight, so you need to manage your weight, otherwise you'll become obese. You've already given them information to help them prevent obesity. So that's the goal: prevent. So it's used more like that. That's how it's supposed to be used. Because if you look at now people who come from, like people who come from Nyanza province, maybe Luya, they are heavy, okay, but they're not necessarily obese. You will put people on the scale, you'll get BMIs of 30, 31, 32. But if you tell them with this BMI, you know, you can get blood pressure, that's a prevention strategy. That's what you're doing. You're preventing them from getting there. You know, so they start thinking, okay, yeah, my weight is high. Yeah. But we can also come up with many other suggestions. Okay, Sawa.
Yeah.
So I've been busy and anxious. I've not eaten. So let me go eat my avocado and groundnuts in the car and then come back to work.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. I'll send a picture.
Okay. No problem.
Bye for now.